Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Nicole, and you're in for a bumpy but yet fun and exciting ride today on the Pain Point Podcast. And we're here with solutions to your business pain points and pain points for your clients that they can find online. And right now, today, I have my friend here, the Black Butterfly Goddess. That is a mouthful to say, but it's so much worth it because of what you bring. Welcome, and tell our audience a little bit about you.
Thank you so much for the beautiful introduction, Nicole. I'm so happy to be here. I am Tywanah Yvette, also known as Black Butterfly Goddess. I am a fourth generation intuitive healer, psychic medium, and spiritual guide. I use the word guide instead of coach because I guide you to your healing from your darkness to your light. I'm not making you do burpees. Lost my thought. I help women who are going through crisis, who are just remembering their trauma, or in midlife, realizing they never resolved their trauma, to heal it for good, and to find purpose and grow in the spiritual realm as we do that. So that's a little bit about me.
And you make it sound, thanks for sharing that, but you make it sound like it's just something little, but it's something huge. You're not just one of those regular Joes talking about, I help you heal a little bit of the past. You don't help people relive it, but there is a deeper width and breadth of what you do, and we'll get a little bit more into it. But what we found each other in a networking event online, and that is a virtual solution, right?
Yes.
So when you're ready, whatever you're ready for, when you're ready to partner with people, when you're ready to find your guide or your coach, you can do that online. And it's very powerful to be open to this because when you're in the energy of what you need and how you need to be guided, and you put the word out there, you put the command, I really like the command out there to set that forward to the universe because you can ask for something. It's not always going to be exact. You might not get your Mercedes or your Bentley right away. A car is will still suffice. And maybe a little bit of a Toyota Corolla or something sometimes, right? Until you're ready for what is bigger.
Right.
But that's what you get deeper into why people are not healed and why they're not achieving their goals. But what I like about you is you have these solutions that you offer online. You offer solutions and guidance on TikTok.
Yes, I do.
And not many people in the spiritual realm are into, oh, TikTok. No, it's for the youngins, it's for the kiddies. But let's talk a little bit about that because I think it's fun because trauma is hard, right?
Yes.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of yuck. And it's hard to talk about. We're not going to skirt the issue, but let's really talk about what kind of solutions you can offer on TikTok. I think it's another avenue people really need to look at.
It is. It definitely is. And what I do is, of course, I am a psychic medium, so I'll start with a collective read. But during the collective read, I'm sharing tidbits of my own personal journey, and people are getting to know who I am. And after the collective read, what I'll do is I'll go into, this is who I am, this is what I do. The One of the clients that just signed up last week was from TikTok. She found me there. She was just enamored with the what I was doing and what I was saying and how I was putting it. And she just loved the package, right? I'm the whole package here. So she loved that I approach trauma from a spiritual standpoint. Because I'm a psychic medium, I call it my cheat code. Where I'm able to look into the spirit realm and see what you're not telling me.
Oh, yeah. So you're diving deeper. You're doing that
Oh,
investigative
yes.
kind of looking and digging into someone's trash outside
Yes.
almost, but they're allowing you to do that. That's what people are doing is they're digging deep
Yes.
and you're bringing that trauma up. And a lot of times when people in the Wayback Machine, I did work at a boutique place, so I know what that's like. And those customers there only wanted to go so far. They only
Mhm.
wanted you to dig a little. And I found that the majority of people that at the time that I was working with, it was more of a customer service type of business for them because
Mhm.
they were just making you feel special and sweet and everything's nice and fluffy, and it's that's not what people want to go to a psychic for. The reason I'm attracted to you is because I'm a just straightforward shooter,
Mhm.
and have getting customers. I'm going to really tell you what the meat and potatoes is, and here's how you can go through that. And I think that's what people need to get back to. You're not
Yes.
supposed to see a psychic every day. You're not,
Oh
if you
God,
want to
no.
pull an angel card, pull one out for yourself. You really
Yes.
need to get into the depth. And I like how you use yourself as an example to say, okay, this is me. This is what I went through. And I think that's a story people get a little closer than
Yes.
a little hard. You're like, whoa, I did what? Now you got to admit it. Here's what we're doing. And it's a great avenue for people to find you. And
Yes.
when you're doing this and you're making yourself seen and heard, and that's
Mhm.
hard when you're dealing with trauma. And I think that for me, seeing that, it's great for people to see someone like you who's healed, who's healing, who is willing to go into the depth and the breadth of that spiritual work. When you're on TikTok, how do you find you've been doing it for how long have you been doing this for
2 years.
on TikTok? 2 years?
Yes.
How was that for you to get out there, just telling a story, just having fun, or were you just like, hey, I'm just gonna
I was
get on there?
I was terrified. And at first I started doing like faceless readings. And then one day I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go live. I'm gonna see how this goes. I'm gonna do it. And I built up quite a following on TikTok. People look for me. If I'm not on for a few days, I've got 30, 40 messages in TikTok. Goddess, are you okay? Did you have a seizure? Like, I've built like this little family on TikTok.
Awesome.
And it's a great avenue to do that. It-
It's exploratory. I think that's what's wonderful. It gives you, the social media gives you the ability to explore you and your best way to connect to others. And that's such a solution for business. We have these, you have summits, you have workshops, people can get, you can get seen and heard through groups, through networkings.
yes.
Why not social media? And why not get out there and try it? I obviously am doing this through my podcast and kind of repurposing and rebranding certain interviews that I did because I'm going more without collaborating with certain people and just
Hmm.
bringing this back. And I feel it's so important for business, especially energy workers. We tend to hide.
Yes.
There's so many out there that are like, I'm an energy
Just
worker
want to
and
be
I help
left
you get
alone.
seen and heard. And they want to hide. And it's, you can't be a badass coach if you're going, I'm be a badass coach. You have to be like, I'm badass right here. I'm a
Yes.
boss lady and I'm going to get you. You have to
And
bring
that's
the
what I
energy of
do.
what you're accepting. And you do. And I
That's
love that.
exactly what
Yeah.
I do when I'm on. I'm like, people come on there, they call me names and stuff. I'm like, get out of how many people, let's get down to it. You want to see my email? How many people have you saved? Because I have
Right.
emails from people said I saved their life. So how many people have you saved? And it's even confidence building. If you don't
Well,
have the
huge.
confidence when you first start, it's confidence building. So why not? Why not use it?
You should, and you should have some type of connection with your audience, right?
Yes.
If your audience is live or if you're connected with your audience on camera or
Mhm.
live in the moment, it's important to find out where your flow is. But you're an
Yes.
energy worker and you should be tuned in. Those spirit guides like Bashar, when he just starts talking and
Ooh, for
his
sure.
spirit just comes through and it's like amazing. Or you watch someone like Billy Carson who's just tuned in on certain things that he talks about in different stories, or Elizabeth Carson where she's got this just very this great feminine energy that she
Yes.
channels into it, and they do great as a pair, which is so unique. But with you, it's just you're bringing this, the camera's on. You
Mhm.
need to play for the camera.
Mhm.
And you don't have to be on all the time. Being loud, being obnoxious, that's not channeling good energy. You're not really channeling your guides, but you need to be able to, there's a flow that happens with your guides coming onto the camera, and it's the state where you're accepting that to be seen. And yes, confidence building and getting out there and saying, hey, is this working? Go with it and keep it up. Your audience is definitely connected with you coming in here. When you're doing this, when you're seeing this, and you're picking up your clients, because it's such a great solution to get out there and energy workers connect to this. And how do you find when you're guiding clients, do you feel that it's easier for you to be online? It's a better working environment for you, or because you could just turn it off and go home, go into a different room. Yeah, I don't have to get into traffic and drive and
Right.
get all that energy cluster, because that can be a mess because you're taking all that energy with you.
Exactly.
But how do you feel about working on this online? Is it giving you a better reception with your clients?
Working with this online definitely gives me a better reception with my clients. Now, when I'm on when I'm on TikTok live, I am tapped in, but I am tapped in only as far as my guides are. So what that means is I'm tapped into my energy, and I'm tapped into the energy, let's just say in the room, right? In the space, the container. But I'm not tapped into everyone who's jumping in the container,
Oh, that's good.
if that makes sense. Now, what does happen is once in a while, I'll feel it. You can feel when an energy vampire comes in the room. And
Yes.
yeah, yeah, you can feel it. And at that point, I will either restart the live or see if my moderators can fish them out or what have you. But other than that, it's fun. It's amazing. I love doing it. I love it. It's a great way to find clients. It's a great way to get your story heard. You only need one person. Only one person needs to see you. That's it.
Right. And every time that one person sees you, there's always multiples. So that one person that needs to be healed by you will be healed in multiples because they'll heal the people around you and they'll heal the people with you. And it is rewarding to see that duplicate, right? It's the
It really is.
duplication, right? And it's never just that I'm just going to get one person. I really believe that in your 6 degrees of separation, there's so much that you're pinpointing around you, and that changes. And when you change those people's energy, you're obviously changing it enough where people want to connect with you more and they're looking for you. They're
Yes.
checking on you. And there's the community, and there's ways to build these communities and memberships on here to say, hey, come back for more, or hey, meet me here, or come to this workshop or this summit, or see me on this podcast. The more you do this, the more there's that reciprocity out there with the energy, with the world, because you have to take the action. If you don't take the action to get on camera, if you don't take the action to share it, then nobody's going to see the podcast. And when you go on as a podcast guest, here's a writer downer, guys. I just take a minute for this one, really, honestly. Note to self: when you're on someone's podcast, you're on someone's summit, share the goodness. Share it with your audience. Share it with your people. Share it on social media. You might not have 10,000 people, but even if you don't have 10,000 people, if you have 10 people that will work with you and that will either repost something
Mhm.
or share it or talk about it, it's that, just think of it as gossip, as fast as gossip can go. That's what we're doing in branding.
Yes. I
So
love that.
share it, share it. It's very important to do that, because this is why your podcast doesn't get seen. If you're paying for
Mhm.
someone to put it out there onto their social media, that's one thing. But how are you sharing it? And as you do that, you share leads, and you have great lead magnets. Like you had this wonderful lead magnet for Women's Day.
Yes, I
Is it right?
yes,
Let's talk about
yes,
that, because it's important to share that. But you're also healing people with your lead magnet while you're generating emails and you're
yes,
generating contacts.
yes.
How did that come about?
The Women's Day journal that I just did, the lead magnet. I remember I was on a podcast and afterwards, she had said something about Women's Day and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's coming up." And it was about 3 weeks ago, and I sat here and I thought about how can I touch the lives of every woman on my email list, on my Facebook page, on my Instagram page. And I created an activity workbook for self-love and sent it out mass email, posted it on Facebook, and it's free. It's free. But I wanted women to be able to have somewhere to begin. And it's broken up into a few different sections like self-love, and we've got journaling, we've got activities, we've got writing, we've got create 10 affirmations of your own to use every day. It's so packed with healing activities. So yes, I did do that for Women's Day.
And yeah, that's awesome because, when you're giving a lead magnet, folks, here's another writer downer. Here's a good tip as well when we're talking about the virtual space and connection and branding. When you're giving a lead magnet away, give them something worthy. Give your clients, your audience, something that is you, that is your energy, has to do with your business. It shouldn't be something different. You're giving advice to your a potential customer. So you want to get them hooked into who you are. Even if it's 2 pages and maybe 1 page and a couple bullet point tips or a checklist or something. It should be about your business. But the other thing is you're connecting to them and you're sharing your good juju and your good energy and saying, hey, here's something that you can maybe take away. Here, it's pretty, it's creative, it's got great imagery, and it's something people can download and kind of journal into. When you're doing this, and then you can, like you said, you put it out on your email, you put it out on your social media. It's something that you can repurpose and rebrand
Yeah.
if you're talking to women and giving out to people. Hey, get on my mailing list, you'll get this free downloadable.
Yes.
That's something you want to share with people, and it's a way to keep targeting them. People who like you want you to talk to them. They want you to connect. So they want to find you on video. They want to see you
Mhm.
on social media. They want you to comment with them so they'll comment back, and it's a reciprocity back and forth. Don't just post things on social media. And what you're doing is you're establishing a trust that you will be there. You're establishing a trust in your energy. When you're open, especially as an energy worker, you're opening your space to, here's who I am. It's a vulnerability to show who you are and who you are in work. But you also, and as an energy worker, which makes you rare, very rare bird in energy work, is because you run a business. You actually run a business and you are about your business. And when you put things together and you do 100%, you actually put it out there instead of talking about it for months on end and never putting it out there. What you're doing is you're showing people that you're real, that you take them seriously, and that you value your clients by sharing valuable work of yours. And that's very important. How do you see that? I think that's too out and from other people. And that's why they also find you too, because they can trust you as a businesswoman that you'll be back tomorrow. You're not going to get in your gypsy coach and wagon and hop
At least
away
hop
into a next
away.
space and go somewhere
No,
else.
no.
They can trust that they can find you. They might not see you for a day or two, but they know that you're going to come back. And that's
Yes.
important. So when you have that kind of trust with your people, does it make you show up a little bit more for them?
Course. Of course it does. I think about it on the weekends, especially if I don't have podcast recordings or if I don't have mediumship readings. I'm like, let me hop on TikTok, let everybody see. And everybody's, oh, we missed you. You used to be on at nights. Now you're on during the days. And so glad to see you. And it's always good to have that exchange with them, even if it's for 10 minutes. I've hopped on for 10 minutes just to say, hey guys, I just wanted to come on here and say hello to my fans and see how everybody's doing. But they do love the engagement. They do love that, like, 12, 15 people asked me for that journal. when I did a live this weekend and discussed the journal, because it's a little hard to put on TikTok, but 12 to 15 people asked me for the link to that journal. It
That's
it,
awesome.
it was it was mind blowing.
Yeah,
And all
when
I
they're
did was
asking
mention
for
it.
it, it's huge. Yeah,
Exactly. All I did was mention for Women's Day, I sent out an email, I gave away a journal, and people are like, I need to start healing. I'd like that journal too. And I was giving it away for free anyway. So send them the link. Why not? And
awesome.
if you need more help on your healing journey, I'm here.
See, that's important because when people are asking, they feel that vibration of, hey, I want to be part of it.
Yeah.
I want to heal too. Maybe I have a friend that I can share it with. Certain people that you're not really paying to say that for that testimony, like everybody else's website, there's 300 testimonies of people you don't know. I don't know this person, so I don't know that makes you the better coach or the consultant or the financial person for me just because the girl down the street said that you're awesome. I don't know if that's your niece or your kid or I don't know who that person is.
Right.
And for someone to reach out that wants to be in that group that hears about it's asking, that's something different. So you're starting to get to those are testimonies in and of itself that it's
Yes.
working. Those are
Yeah.
testimonies that your energy, because you've got these people saying, hey, people are commenting, hey, I love this. I love what you're doing. We look forward to seeing you. And you start to see these comments, then it makes a difference in the connection, right? You're not buying the views for that. You can always tell when the robot view is there. When there's, of
Yes.
course, always someone that's trolling somewhere on their day too. Hey, whatever, go over to Twitter and troll away, right? But you and we have those, so we just send them away, and that group of people can do that too. But it's so important the value that you give, and the gift can be evergreen.
Hmm.
It's like your card deck, your tarot deck. You're using it on more than one client. You want to continuously use it. You don't have to redevelop it. And if you're always developing or just talking about it, you're never doing, you're not in action. You're in a cycle. You're how many times are you going to bump your head up on the wall before, it starts to hurt and we move forward and you're creating more trauma doing that.
Hmm.
So getting into a good group of people and the energy comes through.
Yes.
So we're getting close to wrapping it up. We got a short one today, guys. There's some business to be had, but we're going to be on some collaborations in the future, which is really exciting. So that'll be look forward to that. Absolutely. But
Yeah.
but let me get you because you've got these great solutions in using TikTok, and I think it's just a valuable tool of getting out there of what that can do for you, whether it's TikTok or YouTube or anything. I know words on being seen, especially for trauma victims.
Trauma victims especially need to be seen. And I say that because it was the one thing I wanted somebody to say to me that was never said before my healing journey. I just wanted somebody to say, I see you. It's less than 10 letters. I just wanted somebody to say, I see you. And so it's really important for those of us who have endured heinous trauma to be seen, because that in and of itself is healing.
I love that. That's beautiful because you know what? And you can be seeing yourself too. And so that's what we have these days. You can choose with all these social media outlets on a virtual stage, on Zoom, or in virtual reality. You can choose to be seen and how you're seen.
Exactly.
And so you have more control. And when we get away from that fear porn mindset of everybody's watching, everybody's seeing me, I don't want people, you could choose where to be seen and how to be seen and how you show up, and you're taking the control back. So without banging the horn and forcing that visualization on everybody, but just to say hello. And it's important and it goes a long way and it will be reciprocated well. But I look forward to these in the future. And thank you so much for coming on the Pain Point podcast and offering these very valuable tips because we'll have a way to connect with her below and find that information and just connect further. Especially, we're going to list your TikTok. link. I think that's great.
Can't wait. Can't wait. Thank you so much, Nicole, for having me here today. It's been wonderful.
All right. Thank you. And hey, guys, we've got a new sponsor this week. I do want to say and subscribe, but also we've got Forbidden Knowledge products that I have the great honor to be affiliating with. So watch for that because that is another level of energy and greatness, and we're going to spread the good news with that around. So thank you so much, you guys. I look forward to seeing you on the next podcast.